like just his gaze. I talked with him at TI, and I was just like, it's like funny because he's not trying to be. It's not like, yeah, he is. He is.
10 seconds remaining.
They really are.
I don't know which ones they're deciding.
5 seconds remaining.
14:37.
Radiant team pick.
Okay, they're getting the team fight now. That's pretty strong team fight right now.
Now we just need Void, and they have all the bubbles and.
How did they even lane this? Like,
Is it not? Yeah, is it not too much team fight?
Sorry, I was kind of kidding. I feel like they definitely need like a low cooldown pressure hero from the carry role, like something that just farms and pushes in lanes.
Was it Enigma?
Probably is right.
Probably right.
Yeah, it's like it.
Enigma Magnus support sounds pretty bad.
Doesn't sound great.
Do you guys feel like Magnus is a good enough hero for Moon to be flashy on, or is it also still too long cooldown?
I think it's okay for him.
Yeah?
It'll probably work out. You can also do those skewer plays, which is pretty hard to do, honestly, but the Kunkka pickup.
Play around with the base of Rich, do what he loves to do, right?
Yeah.
Sip and farm.
Could pick up the Ember here if you want. Pretty active hero. Low cooldown. Pushes the
I
lanes.
like Ember.
Picks up the troll.
That's why they get.
I don't like it as much against the Dazzle, but I mean it's still like a great Empower hero. I feel like him and Jug are like the two best, and Jug's just kind of a crappy hero.
He's very bad.
Worst playing. I feel like you kill yourself.
So at least you can spin. At least you can spin it off now. It used to be. It used to be that you would just die. You'd have to buy like a Shadow Blade so the illusion would lose sight of you. But I mean, either way, like it's just a hero that's gonna have like he's gonna have a ton of farm on troll this game. I feel like as long as he gets past the early to mid game, like once he has 1 or 2 items, the Kunkka burst won't be enough, and that's the only threat right now.
A lot of damage mitigate, right? The ROM plus the
Dire team
troll.
ban.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it nearly as much. But with the Empower, it's a bit different. Like troll does output a significant amount of damage.
Yeah, yesterday in all the matches that we've had, a lot of people talked about the amount of disable that comes from a team and how stuns win games, basically. They're kind of, on the side of paiN, they're kind of low on those.
They have no instant disable.
Yeah, they've got, I mean, they got the X, they got the
10
Tornado,
seconds
or
remaining.
Cyclone rather, if you want.
I feel like Yules is like super good this game for Tigers. Like they
5
just
seconds
if like
remaining.
Mag has a Yules or anything like that, you just don't
Mhm.
die. No heroes die. And Ember, I still like
Dire team pick.
like a hero like that. It's like a elusive hero for Tigers, even in the support role. Like something that just
Radiant
doesn't
team pick.
die to this.
Silence.
And they just
Still
go
be
for the team
silenced,
I
fight.
think because the CM was banned too. I think it was
Yeah.
they were judging between that, and then they're like, you know what, Magnus control are more important than sounds.
What will the last pick?
Now we know what. Is that a Mag mid then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Mag
guess
mid,
it
Enigma off lane,
should
Tiny
be
Zephyr.
fine against Kunkka, I guess.
Yeah.
Magnus
10
is pretty strong
seconds
laner,
remaining.
honestly. Got massive damage. But yeah, they do
5
like
seconds
disables on the top.
remaining.
Like they have Brewmaster for the team fight with tons of disable, but as soon as that's out, like, the small skirmishes from Tigers is way better.
They have like no real catch. Like yeah, they have X, but like how are you gonna stop this troll from just hitting creeps with the lineup you have now? I hope this last pick addresses that somehow.
Yeah, Tigers lineup looking pretty strong. And you know,
Yeah.
as you said, Troll will just super farm this game, and he's a strong laner, so he'll have a good lane and then Empower, and he's gonna outfarm the Terror Blade. And if only paiN X is able to take long fights, then maybe they can win them.
There's so much combo on the side of Tigers too. Like, can't stop this black hole. Gonna global during it.
The problem is if you have too much combo and so on, though, and you might fail it. Like you put a pressure, you're like, I gotta get a good black hole, and then you don't get any black hole because you choke.
But then you can rely on your Magnus. So Tiny to
He,
start it.
he feels the same way. They all miss their spells.
Alright, what is the final good pick then for paiN X? How can they glue this all together?
I'm just curious if it's Brewmaster, if it's an offlaner, or if it plays on the map. I feel like they want to play make.
They need a hero that runs around. Like
Right?
they have to.
Yeah.
They've had
I don't think
they've
so.
had Liposa brew twice this tournament.
I feel like if that's mid, it's not very good.
Venom
May
Man.
now
So the
Oh,
Venom
okay.
comes out.
So for the Magnus
Oh,
in the Veno,
this
but there
makes
you-
it hard.
so it's offlane Kunkka and a mid Venoman.
Oh
Are you
boy.
convinced? I don't think Bulldog is convinced.
It is this.
I love Venomancer, and as I said just before they picked as well, if they take long fights, they will win the fights, and the Venom will even more do so. But I don't think they will be able to do it. I think they will just lose. Before that, they'll just get comboed and they'll die. I think Tigers will win.
What do you think, Brian?
Yeah. As the game goes on, Troll's like going to become a non-factor, but I feel like there's going to be this point around like 25, 35-ish where he'll have like an Aegis and just be so powerful that they actually have to kill him and they can't. And at that point, I think that's when the Tigers will take it. So I'm going with Tigers as well.
You want to break the spell, or you want to go with them?
Come on.
I mean, I want to go for CC and Flea and these guys, but I mean, I saw Zephyr play Tiny 3 times or 4 times or 5 times. They won every single time he was on it. I think they have great combos. Silencer, I think, really breaks the whole dazzle. Yeah, I like with Tiger. Easy to play. This Troll Warlord just going to sit back, farm with Empower. They win one fight. They get Roche. They end the...
Well, let's see. Is the paiN organization going to see both their teams eliminated in day 1 of the main event, or will perhaps they have a victory here? Let's find out with Kyle and Toby.
I think we achieved the cringe level. We got it.
Speak for yourself, Toby.
I was.
No,
literally.
that was a great team effort.
Yeah. Yay. Go team. Which team are you going for? Is it Tigers like the entire panel?
Well, I earn a hell of a lot more points when I'm right and the panel's all wrong. And personally, I think it's like 50-50. I'm going to side with paiN. That Veno was excellent. Veno works. The more blinks the enemy team wants to buy, the better Veno is. And they would ideally want 3, maybe even 4. So...
I don't know. I swing on the other side. I like Tigers' lineup. I also just like anything which has 1, an Enigma, 2, centered around like big team fights, which is just going to potentially crush paiN. Like you've got RP and Black Hole. Global Silence makes it difficult for paiN to fight against it. It just feels good. The question is if they can initiate it. I know you were having some nice conversations about Moon during the draft. If he actually got to play the Enigma.
He needs some redemption. He played this at the minor and whiffed, I believe, 4 consecutive black holes. And, you know, we're tight, so I was, like, ribbing him a bit after the game. Like, what the hell was that? And he's just like, he had no comment. He was just thankful that his team was really good. And I think he's going to need to perform in this game to win. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for that team fight Enigma style, but bear in mind, paiN X have no methods of canceling a BKB black hole. They do, however, have this great kiting, survivable, just complex team fight composition. You're going to have Brewlings, Wards, Illusions, Kunkka X's and Boats, the Dazzle always with the Save Grave. But again, to your point, the Silencer, probably the best combo breaker in Dota.
Yeah.
You got to make sure to plan around that.
I just kind of like the options that Tigers have. Yeah, are you sitting the same with me with no in-game sound?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
We're golden.
It is what it is. Yeah, but I still like Tigers, like their ability to change up their item builds. Like instead of going to Blink Daggers, which is a nightmare against a Venomancer, just to go in instead for like Shadow Blades and get in a little bit closer. Is that the better option? Like I know we're also discussing like the fact goodbye Dire Courier. Nice snipe. That's gonna be problematic for a Magnus.
By the way, that is the ultimate. That is what I would call. We called that the Z-freaking complexity, because in any BO1, and just saying complexity was like 11-1 BO1s when I was playing for them. Because Z-Freak would always hunt the courier. There's these weird things you can do, the level 1 smokes, cool wards, level 1 gank into TPs, but the best one of all is the courier snipe. I think that increases your win percentage by at least 5 or 10%.
CCNC will take anything he wants. Let's hope that Wonder Kid has a little bit more mental strength than that. Lane switch ups, Enigma's going to TP down towards the bottom lane, Troll comes up towards the top. They're trying to make life a little bit more difficult for the Kunkka. This is easy to pretty counter. Like, yeah, it's already happening. Terrorblade's just begun his TP in Kunkka, so even with the lane switch up, it's now just meaning that it's on a different lane, but it's the same matchup.
It favors Enigma, though. You'd much rather Enigma be in this matchup from the off lane. You don't want him denying back against the Kunkka into his own safe lane tower. It's just much better for you to be playing in the off lane, and that frees up Tiny now to also look to rotate mid if he has that opportunity. Mid as well. CCNC going a strange build. I'd expect him to go like 2-point scale, 2-point sting, but he's actually just going for that ward style. But
I'm liking this run up. Haste rune. I was wondering if it was going to be nice and aggressive over on the Brewmaster, but they decide against it. And Wonderkid doesn't want to lose his CS advantage in mid. Oh, hello. There's our beautiful sound back again. Brewmaster is just getting zoned out on the top. Gotta be careful. Just how much harassment the Silencer can get into you.
Yeah, I'm very surprised they don't have the Dazzle up there with the Terrorblade. I mean, Kunkka Brew isn't the greatest lane, but as you can see, the pressure on the TB is... Oh, there you go.
Yeah, good time for Dazzle to arrive.
Yeah. This is what they need to be doing. You want to secure your Terrorblade's game. He's your... game that really changed the state. You know, maybe he'll want a BKB and a Halberd at some point, but it's really Ritsu's Terrorblade that the hopes of paiN are resting with.
Are they jumping around once again? Brewmaster TP's down to the bottom lane. And, well, ADR, he doesn't have X marks a spot, so he can't just set up easily onto the Enigma.
That's a good decision, though. Nice rotation. This will be most likely a relatively static game. Neither team have any natural roamers on the support position. You could argue Tiny is, but he's going to look to more dominate the lane bottom, especially since he's up against 2 melee heroes. Probably see some contests on the 5-minute runes, but most likely a static early and mid game here. Both teams have hard carries and want their core items up before they get crazy.
He's trying to harass out the bottom, but I don't know if this is going to really be enough. Like, Moon's got 3 mangoes and a soul ring and a whole bunch of tangos. Meanwhile, up actually on top. Ajit, a little bit of trouble around the tree lines. 1-4-3-7. Try and slow him down. Cut through a little bit harder, but he cannot do it. Ritsu, you wanted a good start for him, and he's got it with the first blood and potentially going to claim 1-4-3-7 as well. Around the trees, into the fog of war. 1-4-3-7 goes to the right. So Ritsu won't get his second.
He could have quelling or ate a tree there to
but
get
then they rotate down to the bottom lane. Toss back ADR. And just a quick little bash from Ajit, and combining with the Avalanche, they can get a little bit of a rebuttal. There was Moon Meander who gets the kill in the off lane.
Interesting. So they just really want that Enigma against Terrorblade. I don't mind the constant swapping. Like we talked about, TB is the game, right? So you might as well put a hero in his lane that can safely deny one archer every wave. It's pretty annoying to deal with.
Here we go once again. So Kunkka will come up towards the top. We always have these 3 people on top lane as the Torrent connects onto Moon Meander. Now we'll see just how much life he's got. Not enough, not when the Shadow Wave helps rip through them, and the X marks the spot. 1-4-3-7. Can't get away from this one. The amount of damage onto Dazzle is also not enough to carry through, but bottom lane, Flea gets back towards the tower. That's like he actually got a dodge as well.
Really well played by paiN. You always want to make sure that when you rotate lanes, you're able to utilize 3 heroes there to find a kill before swapping back, and that's exactly what they did. They get 2 kills up top. A really nice maneuver there, and I can almost guarantee that that was a Lelis move. Him and CCNC, I believe, are the primary shot callers for this team, but that's something that even these NA Dota veterans would know by now. It's a semi-advanced move, but not really.
Long toss back, Flea all the way into Moon. With his conversion as well, he can get the clap, but it won't be enough to slow them down and control. Instead, it's Ritsu and Dazzle trying to help out. No Shallow Grave leveled up just yet, so the Brewmaster falls. And we switch once again. Troll TPs to the top lane.
It's that same concept. Again, you bring the one hero down who's rotating in, get the kill, now you swap the lanes fully. So both teams kind of just executing the simple maneuver. Game still relatively even, 1K, less than 1K advantage for paiN, but I'd say their draft is favored so long as the troll is kept under control, because he hates playing against Venomancer. That Poison Sting slow does go through BKB. It's very annoying to play against as a complete, as a melee carry that can be kited easily and is completely dependent on mobility.
Wonderkid is also seeming to have a very hard time in mid. He got the early CS bottom lane, the tree toss, just a safety grave. And Ritsu can just back up from this. They can shrine as long as they can get back there in time and in safety, which they will also be able to do. Well, like, Wonderkid's been using his skill to try and escape from CCNC. He's gone for the 4 points up in the Poison Sting, so harassment in mid lane is really problematic for any of these melees.
This is the build that I think all Venos should be going. If you look at the way Poison Sting scales, 15-second duration, 30 damage per second. That is an absurd amount for literally one hit.
He doesn't even need to push the lane out. Bottom lane, Malice was done from Moon, trying to create a little bit more space. Got help from the Tiny. Is there going to be a toss back? There's a toss over into the Magnus, who will then RP with the Shockwave, finishing the job onto Ritsu.
Yeah, nice move. And that's because the Grave's on cooldown. As you said, it was a safety Grave, maybe not 100% necessary. There's the punish. They bring in the mag, get the kill on the very important Ritsu TB.
Seems so hard for them as well to just keep the Tiny away. Tiny just comes in point blank, and Tigers just move one hero back, and the toss reposition is too much for the Terrorblade to deal with. There's nothing else to reposition him as well. Not unless they're going to get mass 4-staffs into the paiN lineup.
It's one of the reasons we see Tiny picked up first phase and by pretty much every team at this tournament. It's just so valuable. A lot like Axe in that there's numerous ways this hero can win the lane for your team, and it's pretty much impossible to game plan for. How do you stop tossback? Sorry.
1437's going to back to the tower. I thought for a moment that Ajit was going to travel over and try and contest, but instead he just grabbed the creep wave is all.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You're going to have major Veno problems, though. Look how much damage CCNC is already doing to this mid tower. And bear in mind, this is a core Veno. He'll get that level 10 talent, 90 GPM.
And he's got the kill on Silencer.
Yep.
Gale hits and Poison Sting, and CCNC, like Real Men, walks away from, well, I'd say infection. No explosions.
This is going to be a super fat Veno, and this is the hero I'm most concerned about for the Tigers lineup trying to deal with. You don't have any heroes that really can target wards. And if CCNC is allowed to just obtain map control, he'll look to rotate top after he takes mid tower. He can just sit in that top Dire Shrine area indefinitely. You have no way of killing him unless they were to pick up, as you said, maybe a Shadow Blade, but that's just not an item you're going to see for at least another 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take a little bit more time. That's why Wonderkid needs more, like he needs more space, which he can't get in mid lane. He has to go into the jungle where the creeps aren't worth anywhere near as much.
Yep. I've stressed a lot in previous casts about how you need to try and ensure that your draft has non-Blink Dagger required initiation tools. The heroes Venomancer fears Earth Spirit, Fury, and Darkseer. They have methods of obtaining a kill on him by just using their kit. All these heroes of Tigers, they want to be able to buy Blinks and get on top of you, and that's just not, like, Veno shuts that down, and man,
it's actually had even worse repercussions. Like you see 1437 here in the mid lane trying to defend it while Wonderkid was over in the jungle. Because 1437's there, Ajit's completely abandoned the top lane. Conqueror is getting free space to farm up, maybe less now that Ritsu's joined him, and the Brood just stands next to the Troll Warlord. He'll leech everything he can and always just be that impending problem that the Troll's going to think about as he's farming the jungle.
Tigers, they have their own methods of tempo. Enigma is going to be able to do the exact same thing I fear from the Veno, but Veno has the benefit of a current 3-level advantage, and in addition, that 90 GPM talent. And imagine an Axe Veno in this game.
Easy rotate around the back. Flea just had to walk in. That's all. There's nothing complicated about this. There's no observer wall that has to be behind the tower. And they then take the mid tower for the trade-off for the bottom.
Good movement from
and
Tigers.
Okay, maybe not so of an even trade.
The concern is just going to be, as you can see, Radiant, mid.
Yeah, they have the sentry ward down, but then skewer forward looking for an RP position, but everyone from paiN keeping their distance. Venomancer will be kept out of this fight thanks to the Tiny, but with the ship combo, they're able to bring down Wonderkid. The TP out from Tiny, it will be in time. The clap was doing some significant damage at the end, but it wasn't enough.
And you can see how easy it is. That's how paiN is going to want to be taking fights this entire game. Abuse spacing. Force these slow melee cores of Tigers to just run into the ward wall. You've got so much ability to just kite. You can't actually kill Venomancer. The moment that skewer misses, that entire fight is over. And look at this. They already rotate towards top, and it's 11 minutes in. You're losing a tier 2.
Yeah, and there's nothing they can do about it. They didn't want to pressure in the bottom lane at all. And initiation still kind of comes off the back of a Tiny toss. That's the only way they can get close enough to it.
paiN has a huge team fight advantage for the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Here it is. Tiny toss sets it up. There's your jump forward and the RP. He'll catch 2. skewering him back into the tower, and it's Venomancer as well as Kunkka, the two big ones they claim. The tower will still go the way of CCNC with his wards, but that is what paiN had to look out for, and Tigers executed it perfectly.
Yeah, I just said that they needed to abuse spacing. Yeah, you can't stand on top of each other. That's exactly the kind of punish Tigers. You can see a split mid.
It's going to be used. It's mainly so the Brewmaster can't get in towards the split, but the Shallow Grave will hold him there, and that will allow the split to happen. The two big ultis committed, but 1437's really low on life, so the Brewlings are going to try and chase it over towards him and maybe able to just get the kill. Pure Immolation will do it, while the Earth Brewling is very safe back at the Tier 1 tower. Not to mention X marks spot, shift combo is all on top of Moon. Doesn't have a lot of life to survive, in fact has no life.
Yep, really well done there by ADR, ensuring you got that follow-up kill on Enigma, and that's the power of paiN. You've got a Dazzle along with all these heroes that have massive amounts of survivability. If you can't kill Brew, Kunkka, Veno before they get all their spells off, like, you're in big trouble. The team fight that these heroes offer is absolutely nuts. And Tigers, you really only establish a new status quo once somebody's got a couple, like, you need a BKB. On Troll, on Enigma.
Troll right now is just trying to get sustainability. Like, he's looking to buy the Morbid Mask.
Yeah.
But if they win a fight and they get Roshan, then you're going to get survivability through the second life.
Yeah, you want a Troll to be able to abuse map control in a game like this, especially with Empower. You can see them stacking bottom Ancients. This is all Aja wants to do. Farm, farm, farm. Take this Shrine area, get Empowered, and just rice.
1437 smoked right on top of the Radiant Observer ward. So at least he'll push Ritsu off the Ancients. Everyone's grouping up for a smoke of their own. Tigers underneath their own Shrine. They actually have one? It looks like, no, they don't.
CCNC has got a lot of flack in his career about like not being the greatest laner, but he really understands how to utilize his hero within the game, and this is him playing the perfect position. You just control that top dire jungle as much as you can, and at some point, you're going to lead to a natural Roshan because you already have the map control required, and you see all dire bottom. They can't do it just yet, but give it another 5-10 minutes.
Speaking of like every 5, like, I love the bounty rune is still sitting there. It's been sitting there for almost 4 minutes on the top. No one's grabbed it yet. No one from Tigers wants to go anywhere near that. Zephyr's also going to be a little bit more careful in the mid. Venomancer already with the Spirit Vessel, and they do connect on the Torrent. So Tiny, Stick Chargers won't save him in that scenario. Holds them and dies.
Yeah. You can already see, like, just the amount of raw damage output that the Radiant side can deal at the moment. Just anyone that gets X'd, there's no save. They're just dead 100%.
But they are creating space on the Dire side. Like, Magnus is about to finish up his Blink Dagger. He's 100-ish gold away from doing so. But that's why you probably see paiN coming down here to do something about it. Like, if they're really smart, the Dire have already scanned. I don't know if that actually pinged as they went through it or not. I noticed a little too late for it, but either way, they seem to be all TPing out. Apart from the Magnus, who can do it now as he's taking the farm he needs.
Yep. paiN are effectively playing Slenderman for the next 20 minutes or so. They want to ensure that they keep tabs on where that Magnus is and don't let something like what happened top occur again. You just got to keep a slow, steady game and just spread creep like your Zerg. Control the map, outfarm, and try and shut down Troll's Ancients. They've got tops under control. You can see this ward they just placed on that high ground from the smoke on that dire secret shop. They want to make sure Troll can't farm Ancients with Empower. That's his real method, and really the entire Tigers lineup's method of ensuring they can scale into the late game.
This is really good for paiN. So they may have left that bounty rune up there for a while, but they get all 4 15-minute bounty runes. So good cash to come their way. How do you actually build if you're CCNC in this? Like, okay, you just queued up before stuff. I was wondering, like, if you would actually try and get that Blink Dagger ulti off, or if you try and build Venomancer Wing as a core, a little tankier, a little bit more presence.
Exactly. Force is just needed in a game like this. Whenever you're playing against a bunch of melee heroes and an Enigma, Force Staff is king. After that, I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe go for a full pike, or just Ags or BKB. You've got a lot of options.
Tigers. They're pressuring the top. Flea's looking for 1437, who perfectly worked him then. They are pushing so hard and fast, Tigers. They're going to take a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower. paiN are 4-men smoked up, and they're running towards the north. Kunkka will actually TP over.
Yeah, this is great play from Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers are already backing off. They want the fight though, right? Like, they want paiN to come out and try and contest the tower. And that tower is very low. The catapult will finish it off unless ADR wants to do it himself. He doesn't. The catapult will do it.
Now, you don't want to fight paiN at the moment. A level 12 Veno with a Spirit Vessel, TB meta, like, you actually just can't contest. Brew, Kunkka, Veno. They're still the kings of teamfight right now. You need to get to a point where you deal enough damage that you can kill one hero in an RP, save the silence perhaps, and then chase for more. But at the moment, a troll with 1500 health, you get caught by anything, you're going to just get chased down because your entire team fight is this prayer that Wonder Kid lands a miracle RP. They need more time.
He at least has the Yasha now activated on him. So that's a lot of damage on a troll waller when you keep him the empower buff up. So if they can get that big ultimate, if they can get the RP, skewer back, hold him in place with the black hole, troll waller can just go ham.
Yep. You can see already blink up on Zephyr as well. That this is where the Veno comes in. Tigers are relying on these blink daggers to find fights and initiate team fights. CCNC, he plays this right, he can shut all of that down. But this Roche might be a bit early.
Yeah, it is rather early.
They have no medallion either. That makes this much more difficult.
Just letting Ritsu do it. Like, he's burned through half the duration of his metamorphosis, and looks like Tigers, like, then again, like, do they need to worry about this? If they keep the farm game going, if you defend high ground, your combination is still going to be stronger than paiN's if you can hit it. Once that narrow gap actually does bring everyone together. So the bottom lane gets pushed in. They're pulling the catapult back. Oh, man. But they're kind of ready to fight.
They can be killing him right now. I'm surprised they aren't.
Well, where's the jump? Where's the control?
Yeah, there's no TP now.
Here they come, yeah. Run down, CCNC, RP instantly. They don't want to let him get anything off, and he will not.
That was a very, very questionable TP by CCNC. That was just getting caught a little, just being greedy, really. He knows that there's no map control whatsoever from the Radiant side in this area. He's playing under dire wards. I actually think that was almost more of a mistake from Tigers, not recognizing that there was literally a free kill that just landed in front of their faces.
They're probably sitting there going, this can't be a free kill. There has to be somebody else there, but nope.
Yeah, especially once Roche dies. You know the meta's down and that the entire squad's over there.
It's just, there's so much space that gets created. Like, we were kind of discussing as well, like, how Moon would play this, like, if he goes for a Blink Dagger or not. Like, he went Dominator to get the catapult to push it out, and he is going to go in for what looks to at least be the hood, potentially pipe.
Yeah, I think he's saving gold because he's considering just rushing BKB.
Okay.
It's a tough position to be if you're Enigma, because if you get that BKB, you can pop it, run forwards, he's going to go for the hood. So he's going to confirm that I'm going to play this team fight style Enigma and ensure that his specific timing to really influence the game won't be for a while, but it does guarantee that his Troll, his Mag, his Tiny can all have a bit more survivability. And plus, this might not mean something, but you never know. If you pipe your allies and they have blinks, and they're affected by, say, Venogale, Venoult, you can still blink because that magic shield is taking the damage instead of your person.
Nice avalanche toss, making the most of that end Observer Ward. And Dazzle, actually, he'll get the Shallow Grave off, but he's going to walk through the Midnight Pulse, and the conversions attacks are flying towards him. It may be enough, and then the rebuttal in towards Moon. Well, at least he spent his money beforehand, right?
Yep. He lost none to that.
Still has the perfect surplus, and the Venomancer was, the Dazzle was able to survive all the way back to base.
Yeah. Tiger's thankful that paiN stacked this top Ancients for them. Troll collecting a double camp, and he's farming very well, actually keeping pace with CCNC, who had a 2k lead plus the 90 GPM talent, so pretty impressive. CCNC is actually going to go for a BKB of his own. I strongly disagree with that item choice. I don't think that's valuable in this game whatsoever.
Blink, RP, oh, he used! He only just got the item as well, straight back up!
Well played.
Oh, Wonder Kid. He took half a second to turn around, and that was just enough of a window to tap the Yules.
Yeah. paiN may have waited a bit too long to press their advantage. It's only a 1k lead. Look at the itemization from Tigers coming out. They're 500 from BKB on Troll. They're the recipe away on Magnus. It's going to get scary pretty soon if they aren't able to establish a bit more map control.
Yep. I also wonder too, like, if paiN feels strong, like, hey, RP just got burned, sure, but there's still a potential toss him for Black Hole.
Yeah.
Like, if this happens, like, you just chain off your big AoE control abilities.
Yep. And you can look at Tigers. Look at the way they warded. 3 wards, all defensively. They're trying to ensure that paiN can't play their top jungle. They don't care about this bottom tier 2. Let paiN group up as 5, which they're forced to do if they want to ensure that they can win team fights. The rest of the map is being cleared by Tigers. They're fine stalling.
They're coming up. paiN, they do not want to accept the status quo. There's the Yule Scepter. Already trying to set up over on the Enigma. But the Malphite makes it difficult for Brewmaster to do much. He's got Split available, and he will let it rip after being cursed up. And this is just to try and zone out the Troll Warlord. The tier 3 tower is going down. As you said, no glyph available, no RP up either. And the mag's even set up in towards the air by the Storm Brewing, but that doesn't stop Zephyr from just jumping in. They pop the Aegis over on the Terrorblade. And that's no Metamorphosis. He comes back to life as the Malphistun Brewmaster. He is already back into his normal form with the Global Silence. There's no easy follow-up. There's no save for the Brewmaster. But the tier 3 tower does fall. This opens up the shrines and paiN can continue to try and establish map control.
That was decent for both sides. I'm surprised paiN didn't push a little harder. There were 2 heroes of Tiger showing in lane. You know that at most there's 1 BKB up. TB attacked that tier 3 the entire time from the low ground. I think if they established a bit more dominance, they might have been able to take a nice fight there.
They're going to have 2 BKBs in the next fight now.
Yeah.
Like, Tigers have the 10-second BKB over on the Troll Warlord, but it's the Magnus who's rapidly approaching his.
And Silencer, I love the item pickup from 1437. Getting a Glimmer Cape right away. It's, as you said, you want a Shadow Blade.
Do you like his second one, though, going in directly into Refresher Orb?
It's optimistic. You know, never, I still hold out hope I might one day collect Social Security.
Mid lane. ADR's looking for the nice cleave. He's able to hit Troll Warlord pretty hard. But Troll, just from range and under the cover of the Midnight Pulse, just beats into that tier 1 town, kills it nicely. Here goes your Torrent. Does he BKB? Yep, he does. And they've got the slow on to Kunkka. Combining with the Avalanche before stuff available. RP, he held it. Half baited. They want to go for more. A skewer away to safety. Wonder Kid really hit up. Is he going to go for the RP anyway? The Brewmaster's there without split available. They're going to let the Magnus die. Tier 1 tower has fallen. Tigers are counting their losses.
That was a perfect microcosm for how both teams want to play fights. Troll BKB'd and immediately is saying go, go, go. Tigers wants to find 2 stuns on somebody and get kills. paiN, the moment these BKBs are popped, which they're forcing thanks to the usage of X and wards, etc., they've got to get the hell out of dodge. You saw CCNC's Force Staff save his friendly support, and then as soon as the mag blinks in, if you don't get that RP off immediately, sick Yules from Flea, all of a sudden, now paiN can just click you down.
Let's have a look at it again. So, it's a simple chip away at the tower. Early harassment, but you see Wonder Kid's position in the back lines with Moon. They both want to be able to find that nice jump.
And you can see the positioning of paiN as well. Maintaining their spacing, like sort of trying to like apply as much threat as possible while still being safe. Here's the nice Force Staff from CCNC, and then all of a sudden, as soon as that's canceled, look at the spacing. Now they're just going to group up, star formation, Mag's dead.
Moon was hanging around a little longer to say, maybe I can help out to get this fight. I also wanted to, like, with the positioning, like, Zephyr was sitting down and to the right instead of actually being with the Enigma, because if you just toss the Enigma in, that black hole is right there, right then. But now he gets the Blink Dagger on Moon, so he'll do it himself.
I still have a bit of PTSD from
the miner.
You don't want to toss in your teammates. It's, as a general rule, you got to be real sure it's going to work.
Well, they 5-man smoke up, jump in, the smoke easily counted, and the Avalanche dodged by the Kunkka just by pure luck. He walked away, but now it's up to the Brewmaster. Turn around, alright, on top of the tiny, but the blade from Moon! Instant global silence. They don't want any kind of counter. CCNC, however, does get the Nova off. Thanks with BKB, he broke free of it, but RP holding the Venomancer in position. The 5x there from the Brewmaster. So the numbers are back in the way of paiN. The ship is well away from everyone else. Moon begins his TP, but the damage is way too much. Everyone just wants to get the hell out with the cleave. 1-4-3-7. Bye-bye-bye. He is gone. 2 heroes on the sideline. Buybacks were committed, but are they looking for a... No, they're looking to cut the wave.
That's a cool play. They're still going to have 1 creep wave up, and paiN, they still have Brew Split, and they're full HP. You keep going here, 100%. All the ults of Tigers are down. They don't have a single one. Buybacks wouldn't mean anything.
They had to wait half a second as well for Tunny's TP to come back off cooldown. Wonder Kid's going to be collecting the bounty before they go. Yeah, they're letting the Rax go. They don't want to try and defend anything else. They are in no shape to fight Tigers.
And you can just see the power of their team fight. That Veno ult, he BKBs, they realize, oh crap, we actually can't kill him. And everyone runs away. That one Kunkka cleave with the Veno ult ticks, suddenly everyone's half HP. And another issue with the Tigers lineup is you can demonstrate right here, they're so ult dependent. Enigma, Mag, Silencer, when they have those 3 ults on cooldown, they actually can't team fight anymore.
Yep. I also wonder, like, if they then need to pressure the Venomancer when the fight begins, like, force him to BKB from the very beginning with an initial stun, so he can't just dispel the global.
How do you do that, though? You have no poke.
Like tiny just has to kind of almost suicidally jump in.
They're swinging an axe right now. You can't half-ass that. It's either you go full or you don't. And there's still a grave behind. The weave ticking as well on the troll and the Veno that entire team fight. And I love the itemization from Flea. He went Yules first to ensure that if you want to kill him, you've got to commit that black hole. A silence is not going to be enough to prevent split.
Yep.
Also a nice combo break until Mag has BKB, which he obviously has now. He can use that offensively, as we saw earlier in the top river.
I'm wondering too, like, if this is what they wanted to have for Moon, like, not going into the BKB build. He is going to complete up a Crimson Guard now after having the hood, after getting Blink. So he doesn't have that immunity, which is a guaranteed black hole.
I don't like the Blink. I think BKB, whenever the enemy team can't cancel a BKB black hole, you've got to be thinking about that item.
Keep your eyes on mid. Zep is just trying to buy a little bit of time. paiN, careful. They're starting to group up, but then with a bruise. But no! Well, you got the Stormling. That's the yay, I guess. And TP out to safety under BKB cover.
It's go time, folks. TB just got meta back up, and you know there's no RP.
And Black Hole's down for 17 seconds. They need to clean these waves out real quick, but paiN with Metamorphosis available. Creep Wave, actually they're not on the back of the Creep Wave in the mid.
This is real tough for Tigers. Your troll is really just not a Dota hero in this game. He needs his teammates to provide lockdown if he's going to stick to a target.
Oh, this is insane pressure. Like, this is a best of one elimination game. Round one. You've already had paiN Gaming, the first squad, go out, and paiN is now trying to keep at least paiN's hopes alive.
And Tigers, after that incredibly grueling day yesterday, a hard-fought series against Gambit, relying on that 4-man black hole from Zephyr to finally end that 80-minute catastrophe. They need a miracle.
Beautiful, no catastrophe. That was a beautiful sight. If you haven't seen the game, go check it out.
That's all perspective.
My perspective is a good perspective.
Well, Moon's got to do something big, and again, I point to the lack of BKB because it's already hard enough. Even if he lands here a hole on 3 heroes, Dazzle's going to save one of them.
He's indecisive as well. He's taken the Crimson Guard off and then completed up the pipe. So they're looking for that immunity against the Venomancer. Trouble right now for Tiny. He'll have a very hard time getting away from this. Actually, no, he won't. Stuns. Oh, yeah. Kanka got there in time. X-Mark pull him back down again. And Tigers, they'll lose their Tiny. He'll have buyback available. And surprisingly, like, the way Tigers really tried to change the balance of their game against Gambit previously, it's like they pushed in the side lanes, they pushed in the bottom lane. They're sort of doing the same thing again, but they're not committing to it. They're not really pressuring it out.
I think it's fine. They can save. Second Roche is up. I'm surprised they didn't make a more aggressive move with Mag down, but it is a silencer Enigma. You know he has a blink. It might just be better safe than sorry. I don't think they feel like they're on a clock. After all, they are the team with the Terror Blade.
Yeah. But it still feels like Tigers is building for late game. That's a Satanic being queued up for the Troll Warlord.
You need that item pretty early on against the Venomancer Kunkka lineup. Like, you know at some point you're going to be low.
Here comes the Brute. Blink. He wants to go for the Black Hole, and he will commit it. The Brewmaster, Global Silence down too. Brewmaster is down, but at the same time, Silencer just evaporating. Not again! No. 2 in a row! Wonder Kid! Well, he needs a nicer target. Moon will fall, and thanks to BKB, Ajit will not be pulled back, but
now they're down. Toby, the BKBs are down. How do you actually commit to a fight with no RP? Your troll can't enter a fight anymore. If he gets galed or anything, he's just going to die.
You kind of need to find a target you can isolate, which is like Blink toss back and the Tiny sacrifices himself. That's the only way they really take this engagement. But with the Shadow Blade now up for Wonderkid, maybe he can jump through and skewer, and he looks for it. Once again, it's a whiff. They're going to X-Torrent, pull him back in again, and Zephyr, he'll actually toss back Wonderkid, keep him alive. Now that is a man. Toss him like a dwarf. Keep him alive, keep him safe, keep him secret.
Olay, Toby. That's real rough. Now there's no skewer, there's no RP. You've got a few more seconds where there's absolutely no threat on paiN. Meta is down, however.
They're slowing things up. They're looking for some kills. They don't want to let these Raxes go down. Detection. Sentry Ward is placed. They see the Kunkka. Avalanche forward. Try and toss him over. And he does with the dust. It is all about Ajit trying to bring down ADR, but he can't even kill this Kunkka. Sanch 2 braces. Enough life to survive. Even with the tree toss, it won't work. As Silencer going down to Ritsu. They keep the melee Rax alive. That one can at least regenerate. But everyone moves back for the bounty runes, they move back for the money, and they'll probably move back for Roshan.
Yeah, this next Rosh is huge. I think Tigers has got to contest it. Bear in mind, it's only a 7-8k advantage. At some point, Troll does become the strongest hero in Dota. And when he's powerful enough to just run in with Empower and create a threat on everyone on paiN, that's when the tide starts to turn. But they're going to need... somebody's got to come through. You need an RP or a hole.
He's buying out for this as well. Like he's actually just bought the Satanic, so there's no buyback available on the Troll Warlord. That's a confident thing to do while RP it's actually coming back off cooldown in a bit. But man, they're gonna need to hit something huge. Roshan is at 50%. Tigers are in no real position. They're sending in the dominated Mind Stealer to try and have a look at Roshan, but it is really late. Look at Brewmaster's position. He jumped him through the back lines, doesn't let Tiny come in, goes for the Brew Split. That's fine. Creates so much space, and even the Sun and Troll Warlord, he'll clean up a lot of the Brewlings, and if they actually find the other one, they can find a kill, but they don't. And they'll have to back up.
I think that's the right move. Play a bit more conservatively. Meta was still down for just a little bit, and you want to maintain your composure.
Oh, Moon. There's nothing. There's nothing. Keep going. Maintain your composure.
It's like, what are you looking at?
That's just like the way he's sitting there. I'm like, okay, the rest of them will be coming up the mid lane. It's like, no, the rest of paiN are very happy to walk away. Yeah. After getting the advantage, they walk away.
Yeah, just chill. You just take it slow and steady. Set up your next fight. You had items able to be purchased. As you can see, CCC goes back to base. He's got a heal. He had no mana for ultimate. He's going to finish a Shiva's. I strongly agree with that choice. It's all about survivability. He's got BKB, a billion armor. His whole responsibility now, spam wards, and at some point pop your ultimate. And I think you might even want to wait for that level 20 talent where that Poison Nova all of a sudden lasts not for 18 seconds, that'd be balanced, but 25. Because that's for 25 times...
Yeah, that's more balanced. Pipe will definitely protect you from this, right?
Yeah. And all he has to do is hit ult on 2 cores and wait. It's just...
I'm still waiting for the BKB on the Enigma. He's still going to go with the Greaves, so he wants to have Pipe as well as Greaves on Moon.
I hope...
You hope they can sustain. Like that's kind of what this has to be then. Like negate as much damage from paiN X as possible when they initiate. But with the long durations you said on the Venomancer for the Nova, like there's nothing you can do to protect yourself from that entire damage. Like unless you're gonna pick up Greaves as well onto this Enigma. That's
they did a great job on paiN. They finished Scotty on TB, that Shiva's we just mentioned. They're ready to go now. They've got Aegis, they've got Cheese, pre-weave on 5. Go time. Remember though, Tigers, they want to strike hard and fast, find kills immediately. paiN X, slow fights, kite, reduce damage, at some point, turn.
Yeah, look how many sentry wards are even committing inside the base. There's one outside, so it's difficult for Magnus to move forward. That's because that sentry ward, he's just on the edge of the hill. Well, Avalanche, but Hurricane Pike pushes him away. Zephyr will cup a lot of damage, but not too much. The melee rank is going down. No fortification to try and stop it. As really, Terrorblade, he's got the Aegis Immortal, plus he's got extra help, but they skewer him back inside the base. The Aegis... Oh no! He thunders out onto a Jeep. The bash needs to happen, and then the Black Hole, the commitment. But remember, you burnt Global Silence as well as Black Hole, but all you got was the Aegis, the Immortal. Now CCNC moves forward. Same with Fleet, but he's got his ultimate too. They need to keep the turns going, but the Nova, it's a thick coating on Moon. Troll, well, now he's got the damage, or does he? They push the Conqueror away. The RP kept in control, but Nigma will have to buy back. Ajit will fall. Everyone's buying back, but the Cleave ADR's actually done so much damage that 1437 will die to a play ward while they were still fighting underneath their own tier 4 towers, they're returning back into the engagement. More buybacks. Everyone who's got him is burning him. Moon, they just can't run. The Axis, nothing. Well, they got an Avalanche. That'll do the work to get them stun over on 3, but then Hurricane Pike's back up again. Enigma will tick, and this may be it. Troll is down for 100 seconds. The Shadow Grave keeps the Brewmaster up, so Tigers can't even claim that one. We have bought back the whole enchilada. Every buyback used over on Tigers, but GG is called. They know they cannot defeat paiN, and it looks like Tigers will be the second team to be eliminated from this Kuala Lumpur major.
You could see just too many cooldowns spent on a TB that still had Aegis. The Grave allowing him to get off the Sunder. All of a sudden you have no hole, no silencer ult. Everything's been popped, and the TP's respawning. And you can see CCNC's just hanging out. He's cool, he's calm, he's collected. Yeah. And after they blow everything, he's just like, all right, I'll casually walk in.